In the fading light of ancient Egypt's glory, one name echoes through time with undiminished power: Cleopatra, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt. Her story is not merely one of beauty and romance, but a complex tale of power, ambition, and the collision of two great civilizations. The year is 69 BCE, and Alexandria stands as a jewel of the Mediterranean, its legendary lighthouse casting its beam across waters that carry ships from every corner of the known world. Into this sophisticated city, young Cleopatra is born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Greek family that has ruled Egypt for nearly 3 centuries. But the Egypt she inherits is a kingdom teetering on the edge of collapse, threatened by internal strife and the expanding shadow of Rome. From her earliest years, Cleopatra proves herself extraordinary. While her siblings scheme and plot, she studies. Languages, philosophy, politics, science, she absorbs them all. By age 14, she speaks 9 languages fluently, making her the only Ptolemaic ruler who can converse with Egypt's native people without an interpreter. But knowledge alone isn't enough to secure her future. At 18, she becomes co-ruler with her 10-year-old brother, Ptolemy XIII, following their father's death. The arrangement is fragile from the start. Court advisors seeking to control the young king force Cleopatra into exile, but she refuses to fade into obscurity. In what would become one of history's most dramatic entrances, she has herself smuggled back into Alexandria, wrapped in a carpet, delivered directly to Julius Caesar. Caesar, Rome's most powerful man, has arrived in Egypt to collect a debt and restore order. Instead, he finds himself captivated by this brilliant young queen. Their alliance changes everything. With Roman backing, Cleopatra reclaims her throne. She bears Caesar a son, Caesarion, securing her position in Egypt's future, or so she believes. But fate has other plans. Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE throws the Roman world into chaos. Cleopatra must navigate these treacherous waters carefully. She chooses to align herself with Mark Antony, Caesar's former right-hand man. Their relationship becomes legendary, but it's built on more than romance. It's a political alliance that could preserve Egypt's independence. For a time, they seem invincible. Cleopatra and Antony hold court in Alexandria, living in unprecedented luxury. They call themselves the new Isis and the new Dionysus, divine rulers of a great empire. But in Rome, Caesar's adopted son Octavian watches and waits. He portrays Antony as a man bewitched, fallen under the spell of a foreign queen who dreams of ruling Rome itself. The propaganda works. Rome turns against Antony. The final confrontation comes at the Battle of Actium in 34 BCE. Cleopatra and Antony's combined forces face Octavian's fleet. The battle is a disaster. Their ships are outmaneuvered, their forces scattered. They flee back to Alexandria, but there's no escape. The battle marks a turning point, leaving Cleopatra and Antony with no option but to brace for the impending Roman advance. Octavian's armies approach the city. Antony, believing Cleopatra dead from a false report, falls on his sword. When brought to Cleopatra's monument, where she's barricaded herself, he dies in her arms. The queen knows what awaits her: humiliation, imprisonment, being paraded through Rome's streets in chains. She chooses a different path. On August 12, 30 BCE, Cleopatra dies by her own hand, possibly from the bite of an asp smuggled to her in a basket of figs. With her dies the last of the Ptolemaic dynasty, and independent Egypt along with it. The land of the pharaohs becomes a Roman province. But what really led to Egypt's fall? Was it simply Rome's superior military might? The evidence suggests a more complex story. Egypt under Cleopatra was wealthy but politically fragile. Centuries of Ptolemaic rule had created deep divisions between the Greek elite and the Egyptian population. While Cleopatra worked to bridge these gaps, the foundation of her kingdom was already cracking. The Roman Republic was also changing, transforming into an empire that could no longer tolerate strong, independent allies. Octavian, soon to become Augustus, needed Egypt's grain and wealth to secure his power. Cleopatra's dream of an independent Egypt allied with Rome was impossible in this new world order. The queen's death marked more than the end of a dynasty. It was the end of an era. The ancient civilization that had endured for 3 millennia, that had built the pyramids and taught humanity to write, finally succumbed to the tide of history. Egypt would not be truly independent again for nearly 2,000 years. Yet Cleopatra's legacy endures, not as the seductress of legend, but as a brilliant ruler who fought to preserve her kingdom in a changing world. She was a woman of remarkable intelligence and ambition, fluent in many languages, educated in philosophy and sciences. She was a queen who dared to dream of an Egypt that could stand as Rome's equal, not its subject. In Alexandria today, archaeologists continue to search for her tomb. The lighthouse is gone, the great library destroyed, but somewhere beneath the modern city lie the secrets of Egypt's last queen. Perhaps one day we'll discover more about this remarkable woman who defied the conventions of her time, who nearly changed the course of history. Cleopatra's story reminds us that history is not simply a record of victories and defeats. It's a complex tapestry of ambition, culture, and circumstance. As the sun sets over modern Alexandria, the Mediterranean waves still break upon the shore where Cleopatra once walked. The Egypt she knew is gone, but her legacy remains, a testament to one woman's extraordinary attempt to save an ancient civilization in a rapidly changing world. In the end, perhaps that is her greatest triumph, not that she succeeded, but that she dared to try.